Dr. GoraParasit, it's really nice to meet you here in Vienna.
Likewise. Likewise, my dear.
Your real name, what's your real name? That's an artist name, so to say.
My real name is Gintarė Minelgaitė. It's a very traditional name in Lithuanian. It actually means amber. It's our traditional stone. So it's nothing really special about it, actually. It's a very simple name that has lots of girls at my age has the same name. It was very popular at that time. And my surname is Minelgaitė, so it's pretty long. And I had always trouble for people to remember, my name and my surname. And I came up with this artist nickname to disconnect myself from art a little bit.
Was it an inspiration that you got to Dr. GoraParasit, or has it got a special meaning in that, so to say?
There's a place in Kamchatka. There's a mountain. There's like real islands between Japan and Kamchatka. And there's a very beautiful volcano, which is a little bit apart from Kirill Island. And there's a legend talking about that the volcano was so beautiful that it's being neglected from all other mountains. And on the little pathway towards the volcano top, there's a little hill called Hill of the Parasites in Russian, GoraParasit. And I thought how amazing it is, such a beautiful place and this little hill on this place. And it's not lived space, you have to take a helicopter to get there for expedition. It's a beautiful place and I just felt connected to this and I just called myself. And doctor because I travel between academia, theater, and we as interdisciplinary artists find very hard to settle ourselves. I tried already kind of settle up myself in 3 PhDs, but it's always hard because I do lots of practical work together with it.
Work for existence, so to say.
And it doesn't mean that I do 9 things and all of them bad. It's not that time. I do all these things and they all collide together. And a good friend of mine is a German theater critic. He founded a decent school in Germany, for dramatic theater. He used to say that I see in me this interdisciplinary artist that is capable to do academic and practical work together. And he's very right because we are this generation who are really surfing in between in a very, very good quality. So it's not made thing.
So I can say you're an academic artist, not just into practical performance. As we talked before, you are making theoretical assumptions to your work. And what was the beginning when you were a younger girl? How did you get into the kind of way to say, I want to become an artist? You could also have become a lawyer or something else. How did you get into this way?
Well, I always knew that I am a director since I'm little. I used to always direct things at home. But I never had courage to say myself I'm an artist until very recent. So, I was already a director in my mom's belly because my mom, when she was pregnant, she used to go to theater with me all the time, very often. And at home, I used to direct all the kids. Every single family gathering was never boring because I always take the kids. I make performances, we do the shows. It's basically a show, that starts from different performances, goes into the singing, and so on and so forth. So just gradually went into the theater school, where I disappointed so much because it was not so much fun. Because there are rules there, you have to do certain things, you're always very cut off. There's only Stanislavski, very traditional. So I had to go through all these 4 years of, I would not say total torture, but I took lots of things in physical way. Physical theater is great, and going through yourself and making from yourself an actor is a big thing in human life. To learn to embody your thoughts, to learn to behave on a stage. In a sense, it's not a lie. You can't use it in the real life. You can use it only on the stage, and it's a very, very good trait to have. But then again, I dropped the whole theater. I said, okay, I had enough. I don't like it. So I went to London. I did many things. I did bookbinding, conservation, worked as art director in graphic design. I did second bachelor's in fine arts. And then suddenly I just had this, I fell in love with the DJ. And I thought, okay, this guy was crazy, I met him. and I had this feeling I had to prove something, someone, you know, and I started to feel that tension of the art coming in back, directing, ambition. So I entered master's degree, I got scholarship, and from then everything started. It was 2012, and everything just, I started to experience the same notion of that I did at school.
Okay.
As we were experimenting in theater, you know, and that school, a year of master's, showed me that I can really collide science, I can collide graphic design and collide bookbinding, that I did everything into one, you know, and I can really be interesting and interested in other things, you know, and I can be myself on the stage. And the lectures from New York, London, they just supported that so much, and that opened my field in a big way, you know. And the same year I applied for Waterman Center, which is run by this great theater director Robert Wilson, and there my life changed entirely. You know, I met him, I met lots of people. I got so inspired personally by him before I met him, and after I met him even more. You know, and since then we meet when he's in Lithuania. You know, I feel attached to this community so much. You know, I feel part of it. So it seems like someone just untied my hands for what I was capable to do, you know. So sometimes in one German magazine, journalists call me a jongleur between the disciplines. Fine. I'm fine with this.
I have translated a Lithuanian article where the content is you got to know Lady Gaga, and I have seen your project. It's called Baloye. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Say it again. Which one?
Baloye. You wear the latex clothes where the people get out of the lake.
Yeah.
And I think, is there any inspiration? Also, good music was in this clip. So is there this project and kind of conversation or a combination of all your strengths, music, creativeness, and so did it get into the project, or is it just my lay point of view?
No, you're very right in this sense. You know, I've got freedom, low budget, like always for such a certain video clips, but my friends made the music and it's great, and that's where you put lots of methodology of the theater, you put idea, you put lots of symbols that kind of interacts. I draw the maps, you know, in between. I love this music video because I love rhythmics, I love music.
It has a good feeling, a good rhythm, so to say, the whole thing, and the rhythm interacts perfectly with the process of the people getting out of the water.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's just my impression as a not professional, so to say.
Yeah, and it's always, I carry the message. I always carry some strong message that I want to say, and I always think you can't just do art for the art's sake. You have to transform something that is very important in the sense. And that song inspired me to talk about this cruelty, human to human, from human to animal. Maybe a bit in clearer message than I imagined. Could be more symbolic, but I don't mind using a little bit of pop elements together, mixture with art, because I admire lots of pop singers. I admire very good quality pop culture because it changes you. You know, it reaches so much audience, so powerful. So I'm interested in that. I'm using that in my art. So we're very lucky with this video because we in Lausanne we've been nominated to the Grand Prix. And in Berlin tomorrow is a festival online, and we will know if we're being nominated as the best concept. So we'll see. I'm happy enough with this already, with this attention. So
it was interesting for me. I watched this video and I got emotions for me. I didn't realize the intellectual concept because it's more complex, but it was like in Austria we say it's the Gesamtkunst, Kunstwerk overall, and that was really interesting how somebody from a really small country can produce something like that, which is in the Liga. I'm not an expert, but I would kind of associate it with Hollywood Ligas or something. It has a special quality, even I'm not from this profession.
Well, you are, you know, you could be a very good producer with such a good sense of art, yes.
I can just say what I like and what I don't like.
Well, that's good. That's the most important thing.
So to my last question, what are your aims for the future? What are your visions, or where do you want to get to?
At the moment, we're trying to establish this digital theater institute in Lithuania. Education, you reach. I would explore my art, but in certain points in your life, you stop being egocentric in the sense of your aesthetics, and you want to share. And I think leaving something behind you is the most important thing. That's what I've learned from big artists, that I really don't want to hold everything for myself. That makes no sense. And more I work with students, more they came and I see from their eyes and behavior that they want to stay with me. I feel more responsibility to give them, and I can't do anything about it. And I think that's where the future lays in. And they make me calm because they are so eager to know, and we are so scared of our future generations. I'm not, because I'm working with younger people, and I'm very calm about it, and I know that they're going to be better than us, especially if we leave something behind. So that's why we kind of collaborating together to create this institute where everyone could pitch in and do their own thing. It's not going to be my vision, my mecca, or, I will just give the start as an artist who already reached at certain points, in institutional theater, in video and art, and I tried things, and then we kind of collaborate. I think that's going to make me most happier, person. So that's why I see future. It's kind of giving you experience and gathering lots of people around and, exchanging the ideas.
So you are at your next point of transformation in your life from being yourself producer and actor, so to say, into becoming a teacher and help other Dr. GoraParasit develop for the future.
Yeah, something like this. Maybe not Dr. GoraParasit, maybe, I don't know, whatever, how they want to call each other, but just give those good information as much as I can, because I lecture at university, I still lecture and I know how it works. I always scared to lecture at university because I always think that I don't have enough knowledge, but at the end of the day, it's not about you having enough knowledge, it's you picking up right knowledge, and then they share something back to you, and it's exchange, and they go further. You just give an impulse, and they go further. Not little Dr. GoraParasits, no. Their own personalities and their own institutions and wherever they're going to go, and I think that's, for me, it's very important, and what I took from my experience.
So that you want to help them find their own way in life and to develop them by yourself, if you did it as a person by yourself. Yeah, thank you very much for your time and for the interview. It was nice to meet you.
Likewise.